Welcome to my skeptical sister.
I'm Megan, the sober one.
Oh, it's true. And the only one because
Yeah.
I'm on my second glass of wine.
Oh, it needed to happen after last week.
No, karma's giving you the stomach bug.
Oh, yes. No, I'm in timeout. Yeah, the universe put me in timeout. They said no more tequila for you. In fact, you'll get a stomach bug all week long, which will then make you not want to drink the night we record this week.
Oh.
But you know what? I made my water nice and fancy by putting one of your bourbon ice cube balls in there.
I saw that. It looks like a little vodka cocktail.
I'm going to pretend like it is. And it is strong, girl. Let me tell you. I'm sorry. Tell us who you are.
Oh, I'm Erin the believer on my second glass of wine.
Yeah, there you go. We just have to announce all the cocktails we've had, which I've
right.
had 0. You've had 2. You're so braggy.
No,
okay.
You told me. Oh, I guess you didn't tell me anything about my drinks.
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry. Now you know.
Oh, that's funny. No, I'm Megan the skeptical one. So we are here again.
You have had a rough week.
Oh, okay. So I thought quarantine was bad. I thought NTI, which is like non-traditional instruction, just means virtual world for all those people out there who aren't in JCPS district. So I thought those two things were bad. And then, yes, the world hit me with the stomach bug. And I realized that those things were beautiful things.
Oh, well,
They were
nice.
wonderful. I could do those all day, any day. It's perfectly fine because having to do those while nauseous, and I'll spare all the beautiful details that went along with that stomach bug, but oh my Lord, and and your mom, when you're a mom and you're sick.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You still have to tend to these children, sweating, feverish. I might vomit on you, child, but I'll try to take care of you. Oh my gosh, it's horrible. Thank goodness my husband was able to stay home with me, but still,
yeah,
I'm mom, so I still had to tend to a lot of things, and it was brutal. They just don't make, being sick like they used to when you could just curl up on your couch and just die by yourself.
Yeah, that's very true. Man, the good old days.
Yeah.
It's nice though that this happened because I feel like we're just getting back into being virtual again. Yeah. And so now you have perspective.
That's true. I do. I will be okay if we have to go into virtual again this week. I'll still hate it, but I'll be better if I am healthier for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely makes you value your health in any situation. It's like you think you're in a shitty situation and then your health goes out the window and you're like,
you're literally in a shitty situation. I mean, not to get too graphic.
So you didn't spare any of the beautiful details, but yeah.
I just,
Oh Lord, it's been rough. I know. And then, oh man, I'm so sorry to all of my loved ones that I'm so open and freely talking about things with, like you. I'm like sending you play-by-play updates about things that are happening in my bathroom. I'm like, sorry. Oh, but boy, did you send me some pretty funny gifts.
Thank you.
GIFs.
They're gifts, in my opinion.
They are gifts. You sent me great little gifts. They made me laugh every time and got me through the hard times. So,
oh, good. That was the
silver lining.
I tried to get you through the hard times that were actually the soft times. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll cut that. That was
going.
Gross. That was pretty gross. I'm so sorry. I'll cut it.
You don't have to cut it. It's fine. Listen, everybody knows what stomach bug means.
That's true.
I mean, so you say, I've got a stomach bug. I mean, you have to call your boss, the person that you see, the one that's respectful of, But you know what? When you say I've got a stomach bug, they're like, oh, stay home. No. Nobody wants any of that.
I know. I'm a little nervous that we're at the same table.
I am too. But you're risking it.
I know. That's why I'm drinking the wine so that it will kill any germs.
That's what it is. And I hope you don't hate me if you end up getting it.
I will a little bit for a while.
Okay.
I mean, I've been meaning to slim down a little bit, just for health reasons. So if it happens, it happens.
Oh, well, I mean, that will happen. I've had maybe like today, and I'm over the worst of it, but still, I don't trust anything. Definitely not a fart. I'm going to tell that right there. But I don't trust my body in any sort of way now. So I've had like a cup of cottage cheese and some pretzels today.
Oh, man.
I mean, that's how rough it's been. So.
Yeah, this needs to end soon because if you become some skinny bitch, I will forgive you for giving me the stomach bug. But if you just like get so skinny and hot, I'm going to be real pissed. Oh, I'll never forgive you.
Hey, stomach bag, not stomach bag. No, that's what I'm trying to get rid of. Stomach bug isn't looking so bad. Oh
no.
my goodness. No, still not worth it.
Not worth it.
No, listen, I love my body when it is functional and healthy and working. I'll take the extra pounds any day as long as I'm able to function. So that's my stance.
All right. Sounds good. Well, I have a podcast that you would hate, but I got to tell you about it.
Okay. Interesting. Tell me all about it.
I started listening today.
Uh-huh.
And it's all about
how Twilight.
People who hate Twilight are really just misogynistic.
Oh, Lord. Are you kidding me?
It's wonderful. It's like a heavily produced, big time podcast where they're interviewing like the director of the first movie.
Okay, what's this podcast called?
It is called, hold on, I got to double check. The Big Hit Show. And I think it's only on Spotify.
Sounds like a big hit to me.
It is so good. There's only 2 episodes out.
Okay.
I loved it. It was hilarious. I mean, it was very interesting to listen to.
Now, is that really what the theme of it is?
Well, from what I gather, they're going to pick some big phenomenon in pop culture each season.
Oh.
But season 1 is Twilight.
Okay. And that's interesting.
Yeah. And it's hosted by like a man who clearly, he was like, I was making fun of Twilight hard when it first came out.
You're telling me this is hosted by a man.
I know, and I don't hate him.
And you're okay with it.
I think the trick is
Twilight.
They have to appreciate Twilight.
Yeah, they have to talk about Twilight. As long as they are positive, Twilight positive, then you are in it to win.
I know. I've actually been coming up with a list of male hosts. Every time I listen to one, I'm like, oh, wait, I like this show. I like Let's Not Meet.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Is his name Andy something?
Oh, I don't know any of the names.
I like him. He seems fine.
Do you think people know our names? They know our names because we say in every episode. I guess they do too.
He does too. But whatever. I like him. I love the male host, Earlon on Ear Hustle.
Yes, that's a good one.
I just want to hang out with him.
Me too.
He reminds me like he's so happy and supportive and wonderful. He does kind of remind me of our PE teacher. So I do kind of feel like I get to hang out with like that wonderful spirit and happiness. He's always so excited. Like, hey, how you doing?
I really thought you were going to say, I feel like he's like the male version of me. I was like, that was the most cocky thing.
Gosh, not at all. Are you kidding me? No, absolutely not. I wish, but no.
Right.
But no, Earlon, love that guy.
Yes, he's great. And then have you ever listened to Family Ghosts?
Oh, yeah, I did listen to that one. And I liked him, too.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd hang out with him a lot, but I liked him.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd hang out with. I don't know. He was just great to listen to.
Yeah. Yeah.
See?
I like men.
And all of those that you just mentioned have nothing to do with Twilight. So look at you go.
That's growth right there.
But I bet they do sparkle.
Well, sure. Sure.
Okay, well, I'll take your word on it. I'm not going to listen to that.
I know you won't, but that's because you're misogynistic.
That's fine. I'll if in the world of Twilight, those Twilight people want to think that I'm menage a trois. What am I talking about? I mean, I will take one of those. No, I won't. What is one of those? What is that, a threesome?
At least.
Oh, more than just 3?
It's like a,
menage a trois. A rendezvous. That's what I was thinking. Again, don't know who with.
Should have been misogynistic is what you should have been thinking.
Misogynistic. That is like a mouthful.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good for your podcast and that big word.
Yeah. So, yeah, don't go support them because they need you because they're a big production.
Oh,
but
don't worry.
I'm not.
Either way, I wasn't going to.
I'm not telling you. I'm telling our listeners.
Oh, okay.
They seem like a big, they're well-to-do. They're well-supported and like a heavily produced podcast, but I was very excited.
Okay. Well, very cool. I don't have any new podcasts, but I do have an interesting show that I've been watching.
Okay.
That I'm still kind of on the fence about. Station 11. Have you started watching this?
I have not started watching it, but I did read the book.
Okay. So we started watching it just cold. We didn't know what it was. Like, let's just watch this. And this is so strange.
Yeah.
But then we kind of got more into it. And then I started hearing people talk about it. And I was like, oh, it's that show that we were watching. But the more I watch it, the more I'm like, what? Yeah. This is interesting. There's going to be some twists and turns in this. And it's pretty good. And the acting is really good. Like I really enjoy a lot of the characters the actors that are in it. But yeah, definitely give that one a try.
I will. Good. I know. I like the book. It's been a while since I've read it, but
and it's it's funky. Like it's got like this whole art side to it about, Shakespeare and all these things,
like a traveling theater group.
Yes. During an apocalypse, so that's very interesting, but they're spinning it. It's nice. And it's a beautifully done, like their costumes are made out of like stuff that they find along the way. And I'm always so intrigued to see what they come up with.
Yeah.
Like one person just has like a bunch of like puffy jackets, like layered. They almost look like a ladybug,
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's very artistic. It's right up your alley.
Nice. Brooke, my best friend, she sent me that book years ago.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, there you go. That's my record.
Check that show out. I've been meaning to. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
Nice.
All right.
Oh, and Sex and the City. Binged it the whole first season. I mean, that is like sitting there. That's like chewing gum and not even thinking about it.
Right.
That's what that show is. It can just be on.
Yeah.
And I don't even think about it because it's so familiar.
Yeah. Which is weird because it's new,
mm-hmm.
but
well, they've done a really good job. I mean, minus Samantha, but they've done a good job of just like picking up.
Right.
Like some shows when they try to come back and do that, it just feels a little awkward. I got to give that to them. It just is seamless.
Right. Man,
I can't spoil anything.
Oh my goodness. They have aged a lot. I mean, I know I have too, but you watch it and you're like, oh, wow.
But you know what? That's what I love about it. I'm like, you know what? That is brave and bold and realistic.
Yeah.
That's what is about to happen. That's what has happened. And for real, that's where we're headed. And
I know.
Good for them for coming back and not like letting that hold them back. And they all are beautiful women.
Yeah, they are.
Yes, they've aged, but they're beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that part is kind of cool.
Yeah, me too. We just finished Yellow Jackets too. We should probably get to the actual show, but we just finished Yellow Jackets and it's so good.
Well, I've been at home, with, like I said, with the runs. What was it? The Skitters. I've been home with the Skitters all week long. So I've watched segments of lots of shows.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
All right. Now we'll get down to business. Let's read some ghost stories.
All right. I think you volunteered to go first.
That's right. Okay. So I'm going to read 2 stories, a ghost and sleep paralysis story from Jessica. It says, "Hi, sisters. First of all, thank you for sharing my last story on your podcast about my uncle and guardian angel dream. It's not something I share with a lot of people, but it was so cool to hear it read and discussed."
Aw.
Okay, I have 2 more stories for you. First, I lived in a haunted house for a year in college. I lived with 3 other girls, and one of the girls' boyfriends basically lived with us too. The house was older and had been a family home before turning into college housing, but that's all I know of the history. My roommate's boyfriend definitely experienced the most. He even saw the ghost twice and said it looked like a young woman, maybe in her 20s. We took to calling her Daphne and kind of talking to her when we felt her around.
Well, was Daphne a looker?
I don't know.
Maybe that's why he's like keeping his eyes peeled for old Daphne.
Besides feeling uneasy while in the house alone, I only ever experienced 2 things. One night, we all were at a sorority meeting, and I am 100% sure that we had locked the doors. When we got home from our meeting, the front door of the house was wide open. It was the creepiest feeling, and we called a male friend to go inside and look around. Nothing was taken, nothing was out of place, no lights were on, and it was dark outside. Just the door wide open. And then she has a little emoji of like, I don't know, the little girl with her hands up. That's what I use most often. It's my most used emoji, I think. I don't know what that says about me, but I use it a lot.
I use that one in the face, plant. Like,
I do that too. If it was an intruder, they somehow unlocked the door without damaging it, and they didn't take anything. But for some reason, they left the door open behind them.
They planted a voodoo doll.
Whoa, that's a weird twist. I wasn't going to see you.
I don't know. I'm just imagining like who would play this in a movie and, whatnot. I don't know.
Why would they plant a voodoo doll? I could see them taking like a strand of hair for their voodoo doll that they can then mess with.
Yeah, I guess I've never done a voodoo doll, so I don't know how they work. But I was just imagining like, what if it was like the sister sorority and they didn't like one of the girls
like
there?
The rival.
Yes, the rivals. And so then they come over and they're like, I'm going to fuck with this girl, Susie.
Oh, man.
That's what I'm going with.
Okay. But they didn't take anything. All the lights were still out. Okay. All right.
I mean, whatever. Okay. They got some of her hair from her hairbrush. And then they almost got caught. And so they didn't shut the door. They like ran out real fast.
Yeah, that'd be hard to notice. Like, I know I had this many hairs in my brush.
That's like Susie who brushes her hair 100 times and she knows exactly how many strands came out.
Every night she takes it out and burns it so that nobody can take their hair.
Also what I think about with sorority girls, clearly. No offense. I just was never in one. That's just what I picture they do.
No.
Love
I'm sure sorority girls.
Go ahead.
Another time, I was leaving the class one morning, and as I was walking out the door, I stopped because I thought I heard something in our basement. I stood and listened for a second and heard the lid of the washer, which was in the basement, slam shut. It was a very distinctive sound, and I thought it was weird someone would let it slam instead of just closing it like normal. I figured it was one of my roommates, so I yelled bye and left. Later that day, I asked who had been home because I thought everyone had left before me. They were all confused because none of them were in the home at the time. We did have windows in our basement, but they didn't open, and there's no way wind could have blown it closed. And I can't think of any other time the washer lid just closed on its own.
I can think of the time when the person coming in to steal the hair remembered they needed to do a quick load of laundry.
This is a long con.
It is. Like, I also need to get in there to do my whites because I forgot that our dryer is not. Yeah.
All right. After we moved out, the house was sadly torn down to make a parking lot. Crying face emoji.
Aww.
So hopefully Daphne moved on and is at peace. She never seemed harmful, and we had many, many good memories in that house. Take me back to college.
Ugh.
But she definitely gave us all the creeps. Can't wait to hear Megan debunk this. So do you want to debunk it? You want to read on?
I already did. Somebody was going in there to no, I mean maybe not like voodoo related, but could have been somebody going in to play a prank. I mean, when I was in college, we played pranks all the time. I think did I ever talk about this?
The clothes one you did.
Yes, and then we had like snowball fights where they had snowballs in their freezers waiting for us. So people people can come in college times. Kids are all around, like college age kids are in and out of each other's houses, apartments. To me, that's like, someone drunk could have been walking by, thought it was their house, walked in, something like that. So the door being wide open isn't that scary to me. The fact that they had to maybe pick a lock, maybe they were going to break in, and then all of a sudden they get it open and they get scared away, and then the door is wide open.
Yeah.
The sound of the lid falling, it could have been up. Somebody maybe left that lid up and then she shut a door or something jarred something outside. I don't know. Somebody ran into the house. Something happened.
A mouse.
I didn't
want to say that because I'm the believer, and I don't think it was a mouse. I think that's creepy.
But imagine that little cute little Gus runs on the back of that, dryer, that washer, whichever lid was open, and then boom, it falls down, and it sounds like it slams, and that's scary. So that's what I would say. They sound. Now I do want to hear what the boyfriend.
Yeah, that's what that was gonna be my counter argument. What about that boyfriend who saw Daphne twice?
I need to know more context. I need to hear more things. I need to know if there were more mice around.
You need to reach out. Jessica, you need to reach out to the boyfriend and tell him to write in his stories.
Perfect reason to get a reunion together.
Yeah.
Get everybody together. Let's go back to college for the weekend. Although I will warn you, if you do that, you will feel very old because my girlfriends and I decided to do that not too long ago. And it was quite hysterical. A lot of the bars that we used to go to were renamed different bars, and we were definitely the oldest people. Like we were those people that when we were in college, we would look and go, oh, I bet they're having some sort of reunion or, yeah, we were. We totally were. And then we sat there talking in a circle about all of our health problems.
Oh my gosh.
For so long. And we didn't even notice it. And then finally I was like, oh my gosh, you all, this is horrible. Look around. Like people are taking shots. They're like taking body shots. And we're like, did you have a colonoscopy yet? Did you know that I did? Like, oh, get it together. We became those people.
Aww.
You don't even see it coming. It happens.
Yeah. Then you're on Sex and the City reboot before you know it.
That's great.
Okay. My second story is about the time I had sleep paralysis. This happened when I was living in a dorm my sophomore year of college. I took a nap one afternoon, so it was bright when I woke up. I could crack my eyes the tiniest bit, so I knew it was daylight, and I was in my bed, but I could not move at all. It was the scariest feeling to have your brain telling your body to move, but nothing at all was happening. I couldn't even open my eyes the whole way. My body was rigid, and I was facing the wall. The worst part, though, was the overwhelming feeling of dread. I have never been so scared in my life. I never saw anything, sounds like yours, but I could hear raspy breathing and feel someone right behind me, almost pressing on my back.
Like gives me goosebumps on the back of my neck.
I know, it's awful.
To not be able to turn around.
But hear somebody breathing
breathing.
Feel them on your back.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
That is horrible. Because I would be like, I've been drugged.
Yes, that's what that must feel like. That's horrible. Ugh.
Oh, we just watched, Sophie and I, my oldest, just watched What Lies Beneath, and she's like drugged in the bathtub.
God, it's so good. And she starts to slip under.
Yes. Oh. And Sophie was like, it wasn't that scary. I'm like, that was so scary.
One scene alone.
We did watch it at like 10 a.m. So maybe that's why.
So the ambiance wasn't quite there.
That's true.
Whatever. Watch that movie with mom.
Oh my gosh, that movie is so scary.
She will scare the shit out of you just by her screaming.
Yeah, it got really awkward because if you remember, very important scene is when she's seducing him, and on top of him, she's like, I think she's starting to suspect something. Your wife, that part.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is vile.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I need you to close your eyes.
And ears.
And I'm going to fast forward noises. And then she was like, okay. And so she sat there with her eyes closed. I was like, you can go back and watch this without me. I just don't want to watch this with you. Like, she's 12.
Oh, I really appreciate a mom that does that doesn't just awkwardly sit through things. Oh, like be the one that's like, honey, listen, I don't care how you feel. I don't want to watch this with you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Not at all.
I mean, how many times have I sat through like awkward love scenes with mom and dad? Nobody's talking. Everybody's just like, we just have to sit here.
Even still today
in misery and watch this is horrible, horrible, horrible. And there goes the movie. Yeah. It's lost all like context.
Oh,
yeah. So good for you.
Nothing will be as bad. Nothing will be as bad as whatever movie I had to watch with my in-laws as a newly married woman.
Oh no.
Kevin went off to work. This was when he was on the 6 p.m. shift. So
he's not.
They
even
were
there.
In town. No, he was not here.
Oh no.
This is how the movie starts.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Eva Mendes. I do not remember the movie because I blocked the rest of the movie out. It's like a hot summer day.
Okay.
Lights are low in her apartment. She starts taking care of business on herself. This is how the movie opens, Megan.
Scene with your in-laws.
With my in-laws. And then the guy comes in, her boyfriend, and he finishes the job for her.
Oh, wow. We need to know what this movie is.
This is the start of the movie. And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like sweating thinking about it. I've never been more mortified in my life. And I was like, I have to watch the rest of this movie now. Like, this is how it starts.
Oh my gosh.
Now I feel like, and I mean, I have to tell, like, this was before kids. And I had kids almost the moment I got married. So, I mean, we were brand new married, living in our tiny apartment in Owensboro. Awful. So I didn't even have the comfort. Like, I feel like now I could be like, I don't want to watch this with you guys. Are you kidding me? But then I was like, oh, they're not saying anything. What do we do? I'm sure they were like, oh my gosh, I don't want to watch this movie. Oh. But no, we watched the whole thing. That was luckily the worst part.
Oh, thank God.
Oh my gosh, thank goodness.
But you had to have been holding your breath the whole time.
Yes. And I mean, I'm not, no shame, because I'm sure that movie was amazing if you were not with your in-laws.
But that's all you remember.
Oh my gosh, that's the only thing I remember. I don't even remember what it was. I just remember that scene.
Oh man, we got to find out. That sounds like a hot scene. Go back and watch it alone.
Opening scene. Just watch the first 10 minutes. And
that's all you need.
Then the rest is forgettable, I guess. Oh my gosh, it was horrible.
That's great.
Okay, anyways, back to this. Boy, that was a big...
Yeah, I don't even know how we got there. It's fine.
Oh, I do, because I said it was like being drugged, like you're stuck in one spot.
That's right.
Okay, don't ask me how, but I knew it was an old evil witch.
Ew.
In that moment, I really thought I was about to die. And then in parentheses, sounds so dramatic now, but I really thought it was my final moments.
100%. I get that.
Yeah. The only thing I could do was close my eyes all the way and recite the Lord's Prayer over and over again. Eventually, the pressure slowly released, and I was able to open my eyes and move again. Now, I'm a believer for the most part, but I do think that sleep paralysis is probably just a trick of the mind. Mm-hmm. Man, that doesn't make it any less scary, though.
Nope.
I'd be happy to never experience anything like that again. Hope you enjoyed the stories. I love listening to you, ladies. I'm trying to catch up on the old episodes, but also listening to the new ones as they come out. You guys are so relatable and always crack me up. Happy New Year. 2022 has got to be better than 2021, right? Question mark, exclamation mark, all those. And then Jessica, she, her.
listen, Jessica, keep your voodoo dolls out of here. Don't jinx us in this 2022. No, I'm kidding. Thank you for the kind words and great stories.
Yeah.
Spooky. Yeah. I mean, that sleep paralysis, it puts you in a state of panic.
Yeah.
It really does. And it's just terrifying. But the exciting thing about sleep paralysis is that we have a theme tonight we didn't even see coming, because mine is about sleep paralysis as well.
All right. Nice. This is like sleep paralysis part 3 for us.
Part 25. How many sleep paralysis? I mean,
we've had 2 official ones.
Okay. Well, the thing about sleep paralysis is that the more I say the word paralysis, the weirder it gets. But there are so many good stories about it, because this is what I think. Your brain comes up with an explanation for it. So that means your imagination can run wild and will run wild.
Yeah.
Therefore, the stories that come with it are just, they're spooky, and they're like, that's horrible. Somebody breathing behind you and not being able to see them.
Yeah.
Awful.
My base study for why I think it is real is because the one time I've had it, I was scared because I couldn't move, but I knew what it was.
Right.
And my brain just said, oh, this is sleep paralysis.
I think
it'll get better.
Because you knew what it was.
But a lot of people they know what it is, and it's still, they feel something.
If you listen, most of them say they've never had it before. They've never had it since. So they might know afterwards. They might have looked that up. I mean, if that happened, I know that's what I did. I was like, what was that just happened to me? But you already kind of knew going into it. Now, to your side, I didn't see anything paranormal.
Yeah.
But I definitely perceived some sort of danger there. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So, we can go back into that a million times, but we've already done that. So let's go into what Ronnie tells us. Ronnie has written in a couple of stories.
Yeah.
Always good. So let's hear what this one's about. Ellie's excited.
She's looking around.
What? Sleep paralysis? Ronnie's my favorite author. Okay. I've been having sleep paralysis for the past decade.
More than once, you say? Interesting. Right after you tried to debunk it that way. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm just
making
sure I'm understanding.
Drink your wine, sit there and look pretty.
Oh, okay.
I will preface that although I'm not religious, I do believe in souls and a collective higher consciousness. All of these things I became enlightened to around the same time my sleep paralysis and other unexplainable things started to occur. Coincidence? You tell me. Okay, I will. Yes, Ronnie, that is a very big coincidence. My first experience is, by far, the scariest one. My husband was working late and I had gone to bed. I drifted off to sleep for a while and then woke up suddenly, unable to move or speak. Even though I can't move, I can feel an evil presence in the doorway that turned out to be none other than the freaking Samara, I think is how you pronounce that.
Ooh, from The Ring?
From the movie The Ring.
Ooh,
how do you all remember what her name was? I just don't pay attention to names, I think.
No, there's a podcast, 2 Girls, 1 Ghost, and one of the girls, she talks about her most epic Halloween costume was when she was Samara.
Oh, how
So
funny.
that's the only reason I know that name, is because she talks about it so often.
Okay. I'm assuming everyone has seen that movie, or at least knows the visual. Definitely. Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible.
If not, look it up.
No, don't do it. At least not right before bed.
Creepy. Anyways, she came crawling into my bedroom on all fours and right up to my side of the bed.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I was able to snap out of it before she started to climb up the side, luckily. It was the scariest thing I've ever experienced, and I still can't tolerate seeing images of that creepy child to this day. Other than this very specific sleep paralysis episode, the rest of them are just a slew of waking up to shadow spiders, bugs, misty blobs, and cloaked figures hovering over me. Just those things.
Oh, yeah. No big deal. I hate that feeling of this happened big time after my girls. We went through an epic lice situation that we just could not break. I mean, we treated it over and over and over again. And I had phantom bugs for months. I'd be laying in bed, be like, there's a bug. And I'd look and there's no bug. I wonder if that's what she means by shadow spiders.
Yeah.
Or if she actually saw something like a shadow skitter.
Yeah, a skitter.
Yeah, like a spider skitters
we already said what a skitter is. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I do. Okay. So this is what I'm wondering. When she says I snapped out of it, does she believe that world is happening and she like tuned in, and like that world is always happening, and she just tuned into it, and then she was able to snap back out of it, because that's terrifying if that world is like happening.
Ooh, yeah, that's worse.
Way worse than like just it came in that moment to visit you.
Because then if that's the case, then it's like they're still there even though now you can't see it.
Yeah, like Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah, I don't like that.
Not if Samara is a part of it. Another thing that I'm not sure I should classify as sleep paralysis, but will include anyways, is that sometimes I will wake up buzzing all over. This is interesting.
Buzzing?
I'm not sure how else to describe it, but it's as if all my bones are vibrating, like they're going to rattle right out of my body.
Ooh, that's weird.
Oh, gosh, what a horrible
Ronnie
feeling.
almost got abducted by aliens once, right?
Ooh, yes.
Maybe they did.
Well, yeah, right?
And they've got that, like, the shadow man who was it.
Oh,
Ronnie,
I don't
want to freak you
Ronnie.
out, but I'm calling alien.
But if there was a support group for people who have been abducted,
that we could fund it.
We could fund it. We could get Ronnie to be the president. I'm just saying. Okay, wow.
Anna, get on it.
Come on, Anna.
We need you, Anna.
Let's organize this shit. Okay. It's the most intense feeling ever, and I hate it so much.
Oh, that's awful.
I know, because at one point I'm like, well, your whole body vibrating. That could be fun. But no, they hate it.
Your bones vibrating. I wouldn't want that.
Yeah, bones vibrating. That doesn't sound good. It's occasionally followed up with me feeling like I'm having an out-of-body experience, but only if I can let it happen by not panicking. That's interesting.
Huh.
Easier said than done. It's safe to say going to sleep is always an experience. Yay, me. Ha ha.
Oh, no, that's awful.
More stories on the way. Keep them coming, Ronnie, because you always deliver.
Yeah.
Golly, the buzzing, that's so weird. The only thing I can think of is like, I remember feeling, one of the reasons why I realized what was going on later, I guess, I kind of put it together, was that my body felt like, you know how when your arm falls asleep or your foot falls asleep and it's so tingly and it hurts almost. My whole body started feeling that as I was coming out of it. Like it didn't feel like that at first.
That's horrible.
Yeah. And then it was like my whole fingers and then my toes and then like up my legs. So I wonder if that's kind of what they're describing.
Huh.
I don't know. But the bones, that's nothing fun about that.
No, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you're haunted. Or it's aliens.
I'm going to go aliens. I'm going to go, your body is asleep, heavily asleep. Your brain wakes up, and that is your body. You feel that. Like, I wonder if we feel that when we're, unconscious, but or like
starting to wake up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But your brain's still asleep, so you don't feel it. I don't know. That's weird.
It is weird. But I think that, again, like the ring figure, seeing that Samara from the ring is your imagination. I think that your mind went to the scariest thing it could be.
Oh, yeah.
And that's pretty damn scary. And the fact that it's like a character from a movie to me is a little more like solidifies it, I guess, that it's her imagination.
Okay. All right. I'll take it. I mean, I don't believe it, but.
Okay. I mean, you feel like, okay, let me ask you this then.
I don't know.
You feel like Samara, a made-up character from a movie, exists as a ghost somewhere out in the world and came and visited Ronnie in Ronnie's sleep.
I mean, probably
not. To be argumentative, I'm just asking.
Probably not. Although whoever wrote The Ring was inspired by something.
True. That's true. Ask them, is this something that was for real?
Right. I don't know. That is really creepy.
Yeah, very.
Just kids in general are creepy. And Nora the other day was crawling on all fours and turned her hands backwards.
Oh no, there's no need for that.
And crawled towards me. And I almost kicked her out. And I was fully awake and sober. And I was like, get away from me. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
And she 100%. Wouldn't. And I was like, I will kick you.
Yes. And I will not feel bad about it.
And
I'm warning you.
For my safety.
Yes. You are creeping me out. And even though you came from me, I have full rights.
I wouldn't kick her. Everybody calm down.
I would. I'm going to say it right now. I would. I'm going to say, I'm like, wear a t-shirt with a warning to all children. If you come at me like that, at your own risk. Just saying. Oh my gosh. Well, this is not scary, but tonight we're laying on the couch and I'm like going over stuff with James before I came over here. And I said, yeah, my new routine with Macy James is I just leave the door open because she's going through these like night terrors where she like freaks out if she doesn't have light. So I just keep the door open a little bit to give her some light.
Yeah.
And I said, and that'll do the trick. And then I swear, as soon as I said it, her little voice, she goes, no. We both died laughing because I said, oh, the timing on that kid. It's been quiet for like 30 minutes. Didn't think she was awake. And it was like she listened to me say, and that'll just do it. No big deal. She'll be out. No. Like, she's what is it called?
Comedian?
Yeah, she's awfully comedic at such a young age.
Oh, I love that baby.
She's hilarious.
She is hilarious. I love how much she loves me.
Oh, she does. So do I, sister.
Aww.
I feel like I need to make it up to you after last week.
No.
I'm so glad we still have a podcast. Girl, tequila doesn't make my clothes fall off. It makes me a bitch. I listened to that last episode. I was like, oh no, Megan, I'm like, come on. I was argumentative and like baiting you. Oh,
I feel like it went both ways. I was a little combative too.
Okay, well, listen. We are such good sisters that even when we drink tequila together and bicker and fight, the next day we both apologize to one another.
I know. I was listening. I was like, golly, just shut up, Aaron.
I wonder if it's kind of fun for listeners though. Like, oh, listen to them go. Like if I were listening to two sisters, like, oh, they're about to get into it.
Oh goodness.
I hope listeners. I hope that's how it was.
Yeah, for real.
Not like they're so annoying. Listen to sisters bicker.
Right. I mean, I hate it when I listen to my kids who are sisters.
That's
bicker.
True.
But we were funny, I think.
Yeah. At least we can like jab at each other with sarcasm. I hope.
That's right. All right. Are we ready for our fan favorite?
Yes. It's your turn finally.
All right. So our fan favorite this week is Charlotte, but I think they go by Charlie. They wrote Charlotte, parentheses, Charlie.
Oh, okay. Well, Charlie, welcome. I'm so excited. I had my eye.
I know.
I had my eye on Charlotte. Charlotte? I'm just going to blend it.
Okay. I'm just going to go with Charlie.
Okay.
Okay. So Charlie has been just blowing up on our page right here lately.
Yeah.
They posted about bourbon cherries and then went ahead and sent the recipe on how to make them. Nice. They also promised they would send some once we got our P.O. box
we gotta
together.
Get that going.
And we will have it in February.
Hell yes.
That was like the push I needed.
The motivation.
I had some other things. So I was like, oh, it would be nice. And I was like, I'm sorry. You're going to send me bourbon cherries? I'm down.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
There's also something else. I can't tell you what else somebody else has talked about.
I'm so excited.
I know. They asked me to keep it a secret for you, so I won't say it.
Hold on. What have I been talking about? Voodoo dolls. Wait, that was just tonight.
Well, that'd be so weird.
To get a voodoo doll.
Please don't send us a voodoo doll.
Oh, I would love it.
It would just be weird that you talked about it tonight, but they already had that planned.
That would be weird.
Okay, so Charlie says, hi, sisters. Here's my plug for the show. Organ and tissue donation. Did you know that you can't donate your organs unless you are on a ventilator? So what? I guess because they have to keep that so fresh.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So if you have that little heart on your driver's license, it doesn't mean that you'll necessarily get to donate your organs when you die. But it does open the door for you to still be able to donate tissue and help others who need what you aren't using anymore.
Okay. One
tissue donor can restore health and heal the lives of more than 75 people.
Wow.
There are a few things that can be gifted. Eyes, skin. This is used often for women who have had a mastectomy and for burn victims. Bones and joints, heart, kidney, liver, valves, ligaments, and muscles. It's a hard and very personal decision, and I don't mean to make light of it, as donation is a gift not only to the recipient, but can also help the donor's family cope and work through their grief, knowing that their loved one has helped so many people.
Nice.
Thanks, Charlie.
But if I fill in that little heart on my driver's license, and I happen to be on a ventilator.
Yeah, I think then
it's not like a separate thing I have to do. Like I don't need to do another heart.
No, but I do think you need to have that conversation with someone.
Okay, Aaron, on this podcast.
Okay. Oh, and then I've got proof. That's wonderful.
Oh my gosh, we could make a living will right now. I've got so many ideas. And I don't want to pay for a lawyer.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
But yes, for the record, and you're my sister, you call it.
Okay.
I'm saying right now, give it all away. Give my organs, give my eyeballs, give it all to anybody who needs it.
Okay, same.
I don't know who would want it at this point. I mean, come on now. I've lived some life.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you my knee, but it's got arthritis.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, don't give that. Take whatever you can. Use it for whatever good can be.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I've got that in my will, but I will also tell
You
you.
have a will? You're
do.
such an adult.
I know. I do
I'm
have
so
a will.
proud of you.
Thank you.
You are my walking will. I just tell you everything I want, and then I expect it's a lot of responsibility to put on you. But
well, yeah, it is, but that's okay. I've got it recorded, so that's all I need.
That's right.
No, it is very important, and I think that is. I mean, you can't take it with you. What's the point?
Yeah.
So it is a personal decision, and I know that like a lot of religions, it is against that. So I don't want to, of course, make light of that decision.
Yeah, like broad strokes and judgment against that. But
right.
But yeah, I mean, that's my personal belief is that I have no use for it once my body is done. So please, if somebody else can, then by all means.
Right. I think that's an amazing cause if you're open to it.
We're not going to like donate tonight my skin.
Oh,
you know, like normally we sit on here and make a donation.
We do usually make a donation, and that's not happening yet.
No, but when we die,
we will give the ultimate donation someday.
Someday, that's right. But Charlie, welcome, and so glad that you are here in our little community because you make things more fun.
I know. Can't wait to make bourbon cherries. Although I did look at the recipe, and you have to like heat canning jars, and I don't. That's a lot above of my my culinary experience, or will.
It's so well. Sometimes, like I always think that looks like fun, and then I can hear all of the things that happen with the process of that goes wrong.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that you could just do easily that will make the whole thing go wrong. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, Mom makes red pepper jelly once a year. So maybe when she's doing that, we just say, "Hey, Mom, here's also a recipe for bourbon cherries."
Oh, she'd be down.
She would totally do that for us.
Yeah, her bourbon slush with a couple of bourbon cherries.
Oh my gosh, she would totally do it. I'll go over there and pit some cherries for her while she does it. Yes, as long as I don't have to do the canning. That part freaks me out for some reason. It seems like a lot.
Yeah, you got to have tongs. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. Why? Anyways, so thank you, Charlie, and thank you for our people who wrote in.
So during this downtime that I had, I came up with this idea.
Okay. I'm so excited for it.
I think you'll be on board for. So for our Patreons, we've kind of been trying to think of something, to entice everybody to come join and to celebrate those that are already here and loyal to us. And I thought, how could we do an extra episode? Because to be honest, we're getting kind of short on our stories as it is. So write those in, please.
Yes.
So adding just an extra bonus one seemed like, wow, that could be tricky to do.
Right.
So I thought, what are all the things that we love to do? And one of the things we love to do is sit around and talk the hot goss.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We do love that.
I love gossip.
We love gossip. But within that, we also like to problem solve.
Yeah.
Their hot gossip.
For sure.
Okay. So I came up with the idea of an advice column.
That sounds so professional.
Mainly so we could get the gossip to come in.
Yeah.
We won't think of it as gossip, though. Not at all.
No, I'm so good. You can tell me anything. And if you tell me not to tell somebody, I'll only tell Megan. And then I don't tell anybody else.
That's right. Nobody else other than me. Same rule. Not even husbands.
That's right. Can't trust them.
Sisters. But I did think it could be anonymous. Like you can write in anonymously. It doesn't have to be read your name on there. So it can be any sort of like problem.
Right. And I think that if you put it in through the website, I think you could leave your name out.
Yeah. Because it doesn't say where it came from. So just anonymous would be fine.
Right.
So here's what I'm thinking. Patreon night. I don't know how much detail you want me to get into, but this is where my mind was going. The night that we do our movie nights, whoever is in attendance there can kind of help us either pick out those emails. Like we can kind of read the topics.
Yeah.
And like dwindle it down.
Yeah.
Dwindle it. Whittle it. Dwindle it down to like 2. Because I'm imagining so many people, we're going to get flooded with.
Everybody wants to hear our advice.
Great advice to give. But hopefully we'll get a lot. And so they can help us, come up with the ones that we're going to do. So that's an added perk right there. You get to kind of join in on the behind the scenes part of it all.
Yeah.
And then we will sit there right after that because we know we'll be good and liquored up.
Yeah, it'd be liquored up advice.
Liquored up advice. The best kind there is. And we can read your problems or whatever it is you're wanting advice on. It could be relationships. It could be life. It could be parenting. It could be anything. Just know that we are not professionals by any means.
That's right. Not at all.
do not follow the advice we give.
Unless you agree with it, but you cannot sue us.
Unless it sounds good. If you're like, they are ridiculous and that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard, then do not follow that advice. 100%. I mean, you should do that even with a professional. If you definitely don't agree with their advice, don't do it.
Right.
But
have you seen that episode of The Office? He's listening to the GPS and he drives into the river.
Yeah,
that's what I always think of. If it's
funny.
Clearly bad advice, don't follow
Don't take it. But sometimes I know that you give me great advice.
Oh,
and I give you amazing advice.
For sure. I meant to say that. You just cut me off.
Yeah, I was waiting. So I was like, well, I'll just finish that sentence.
You didn't really give me a chance to, but I was going to say.
I'm just kidding. But I thought that could be a fun little way to create a perk for our podcast. Once a month, we'll just do an advice column. And we will call it My Sisterly Advice.
I love it. I think that's perfect. And I think while we're waiting for those stories to come in, those advice questions come in, and if we need a filler, we can look at, am I the asshole, to fill that in, and we can debate.
Tell the people what that is, though, because they might not know what that is.
Oh,
or at least I didn't, because I'm so old.
There are articles online where somebody's like, listen, here's the situation. Was I the asshole? I don't think I was the asshole. And then you can debate. Yeah, you're totally the asshole.
Yeah,
or no, you're fine. So I think your advice is better.
Uh-huh.
But if we're waiting on those, if we're at we're just starting this. Hopefully we won't need to do that too often, but it'd be fun.
Yeah. So there's my little idea. Hopefully it'll go somewhere. Now it will just be for Patreon. So if you have something you're like, oh my gosh, I really have been wanting to ask somebody some advice on this, you're going to need to join the Patreon if you want to hear it.
But any tier, $3 or $5.
I love it. That's what I was going to suggest. Any tier, $3, $5, get on in here. Get to hear that extra bonus episode once a month. If you're $3, that also means you get what? A sticker?
A sticker, yeah.
$5, you get a magnet.
A sticker and a magnet and our movie
night.
Look at
us just giving it away. A sticker, a magnet, a movie night, and now a bonus episode.
That's right.
Plus, from time to time, we like to sprinkle on those bonus bloopers because we've got a lot.
Yeah, I know. We just released a blooper episode, and I've got another one in the works.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my gosh. Our little conversation we had the other night that I was like, oh, I cannot believe I said this. This will only
I don't even remember it. From Tequila Night?
I think it was 2 nights ago. Two episodes ago. But, I mean, it was embarrassing. But it was so funny that I was like, I can't keep it with just the two of us. But I thought, our Patreons, we only have 20 of them.
Nice.
So now if we get real big, then I'll be real embarrassed. But that's coming out. It's going to come out soon.
Love it. Okay. Well, there you go. So there's my little spiel, and I'm glad that you're on board, and I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I do too. And I love getting to do things for the Patreon. So if you all are ever like, well, I would become a Patreon, but I want more of this, let us know. Cause
definitely. Yeah. Give us some ideas for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you guys would do us a favor and rate, review, subscribe on Apple and now on Spotify, that really helps us out. And you can find all of our Patreon information, how to write us in, if we ever get live events again, merch, all of that information at www.myskepticalsister.com. And we can't wait to talk to you guys. We'll see you next week.
Aloha.
La 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 la.
And other unexplainable things started to occur. Occur. Saw that bourbon ice.
Oh my gosh.
For the record, there's no bourbon in this ice. It's just a water ice cube and a big round ball.
My second story is about the time I had sleep persistence.
I persisted with my sleep.
Oh.
Other than this very specific sleep paralysis. Other than
should have been thinking
misogynistic. That is like a mouthful.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Who is the It's not just the liquor. I do this every time in sober.
There's a podcast that I listen to. Sorry, my nose ring is turning, so it's.
You're fine.
I gotta dig it out. What is that?
Scoop it out.
Gotta scoop it out.
Scoop it out, girl. Scoop it out.
It's not something I share with a lot of people, but it was so cool to hear it and read it discussed.
Aw, that's sweet.
No, that's not how I said read it discussed. It was so cool to hear it
read and discussed.
Yep. It was so cool to hear it read and discussed.
Aw. No.
No, that's it. Sorry. And that's good. I can cut my giggles. I'm just like,
was my all not authentic enough?
No, it was perfect.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a tricky one. Read and read. How about we
why would
make
they
those different
spell
words?
that the same?
Yeah, because
Pisses
you
me
have
off.
to use so many context clues just to figure that out.
Live and live.
Lie and lie.
Yeah, but at least you say that the same.
I'm going to lie down. I'm going to tell a lie.
Same. That you're pronouncing that the same.
Oh, that's true. I am so sorry. I must have been concentrating. They named the ghost Daphne?
Yeah, you even said, was Daphne a looker?
Oh, that's right.
Golly.
Put that part in the bloopers.